All right, we are live.
We live?
We live.
We live.
Stay in
How
tune.
I make this screen big on my joint? Stay in tune. We live, people. We live. We're gonna wait for some more people to get in real quick. How you feeling, E?
I'm good, man.
You feeling good today, E?
Yeah, I feel good
You
every
feeling
day.
good?
Sometimes I be
Feeling great?
tired though. I be tired sometimes. I'm trying to see how can I put if someone asks comments. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, we all tired, but ain't no time like the present. We gotta get done. We got it done. They say you sleep when you dead.
Now
So I
my
want to
butt was
welcome everyone.
yeah.
Welcome everyone to the Stay in Two podcast, where culture, business, and real life collide. How y'all feeling today, people? I hope everybody's having a wonderful day and you're out here pursuing and chasing your hopes and dreams. So, before we get started, yo, E, is there anything you want to tell the people real quick before we get started?
Just like, share, subscribe to the YouTube / at AI Eric. We close to 50,000. So we definitely trying to get to the halfway mark to get that plaque. You know what I'm saying? So like, share, subscribe. That's it.
Like, share, subscribe. Y'all see also on his name, you see AILiteracy.biz. That's his website. So make sure y'all tune in to get your AI education and the AI services he might have. And also for you people out there that need any type of customization or printing services, make sure y'all hit my website at digiprintmv.com. We can basically customize and brand anything that you need. See this hat? We even customized this hat right here. So make sure y'all hit it up, digiprintmv.com. All right, so before we get started, let's do this quick disclaimer real quick. Everything you hear on the Stay in Two podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. We are sharing ideas and opinions, not professional advice. Always make sure you do your own research and make decisions that fit your life. Now let's get to it and stay in tune. All right, baby. So last week, Eric, we had a real deep conversation about where we going with this AI thing. You know what I'm saying? And
Well, y'all has missed. For those of y'all who missed it, you can log on to my YouTube or Jermaine's YouTube and catch the first episode. Because I'm telling you, it was dope.
yeah,
We got mad shorts out there. The first
yeah,
episode
we
was dope.
dropping.
So y'all don't
But
want
you
to
was
miss out.
really, yeah, he was really dropping some real information, not just on where AI is going, but how to use AI. It was a lot of nuggets in there, but it also got my mind running, man. Because I'm not gonna say I was nervous, but I needed a little bit more investigation, right? So I have a couple of questions for you, E. Right?
Mhm.
So I was watching this podcast the other day, and there was this very intelligent man on there. His name was Dr. Roman Yampolsky. Y'all can look that up, Yampolsky, and he's basically one of the leading voices in AI safety. And one of the things that he was saying was a lot of people think that AI is going to take, all the jobs that can be automated. But he was saying over time, over 99% of all the jobs are going to be taken. And if we don't focus on AI security, that we're basically doomed. So my question is, do you feel that we're doomed, and what steps can we take to avoid that type of outcome?
I agree with the man. They do plan on. That's why when I listen to people saying they won't take my job, that's why I be telling people I feel like for the next 10 years, you better figure your hustle out, because I believe after 10 years they're gonna kind of definitely start trying to go after the majority of what's left outside of what they're gonna get in the next 10 years as far as automation. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a double-edged sword, man, because if you keep it in the hands of the companies that actually run things, it will go that way because that's what they want. They want to put everybody out of work. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, a lot of us have to look at this as to where is like, what is work? Who invented work? Have we always worked? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think the way we work now
When
has
you say
been like,
work, what do you mean? Just doing manual labor, or you talking
yeah, because
about getting
there
paid
hasn't
time?
always just 9 to 5s. There hasn't always been 9 to 5s. There was a time where there was just people working to feed the community. There wasn't jobs, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what they try to take us back to, where we can figure other things out to do besides waking up and having a job. They just haven't figured out how to pay us if it gets to that point. And what they plan on doing, they're thinking about maybe is taxing the AI companies because they're going to make so much money and somebody has to buy the product. So the problem is we are moving so fast to where the person you looked at is 100% correct if we don't change the projection of where we're going, like where they plan on going.
Let's dive in a little bit of what you just said about how they're looking for other things for us to do, right?
That's nothing.
And think about it. We all know that right now in America, we're very low on the totem pole when it comes to education and actually using our brains, right? We're already being dumbed down with social media and all the distractions in the world as it is, and we're already at a deficit when it comes to learning. But now if you're talking about not having a job, most people's job, a lot of them is their identity. It's who they are. It's what they decide to do on a daily basis, and they take a badge of honor with that. You know what I'm saying? So if you have no job and you have nothing to do all day, you're not used to learning anything, and how can you really learn something? What do you want to learn if AI already knows what it is that you want to learn? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do we do, and how do we start to use our minds right now to say, okay, let me prepare myself not just for the future that's coming, but prepare myself for what I'm actually going to be able to do when this future comes. Because I think sometimes we don't really be proactive with our thoughts. We just kind of wait for things to come along, you know, and like I had conversations with people and they was like, oh, well, AI ain't gonna be able to take manual labor jobs. Well, I just seen on the internet, I wish I would have wrote it down, but it caught me so quickly. There's a black girl that created a robot that can braid hair.
Doing braids. Yes, the machine braids hair.
And all you gotta do is
you start to braid and the machine finishes it. And she spoke about how that braider gets arthritis after 20-something years, and you sit there for 4 or 5 hours. Now this invention is now going to say you come in an hour, your hair is done.
But the funny thing is, the person that gets arthritis wasn't thinking about arthritis. They needed a job. You see what I'm saying? So now they're like, yo, I'll get the arthritis. Give me my job back versus the AI doing it.
Yeah, I've been telling people for years that automation is coming. And it's not just automation. It's automation plus AI plus sensors. And you put those three together, sensors is like when we feel things and touch things. You know what I'm saying? It can already understand language, natural language processing, NLP. It can already understand vision because it has computer vision, which is CV, facial recognition. It can already reason. So it's when you put that with automation without AI has taken hundreds of thousands of jobs and millions of jobs over time. Just automation, period. The wheel let everything roll on and everybody put the stuff in. That wheel right there took people's jobs, just pushing the boxes. I mean, I'm talking about just you push the box because it got those roll wheels. That took people's jobs.
Well, what you saying that, right? Okay, so that shows that us as humans, we always get more inventive. So as we create new things, we create new things to use with those new things to create new jobs. So once we had wheels, then we said, okay, we could do transportation. You know, we can do a lot of different things with these wheels now that we have it. So
think about it. Not to cut you off, but think about it. Right after the wheel, they thought about, oh shit, well, let's put a rubber thing on it and automate the wheel. And next thing you know, they got a conveyor belt that's doing that shit.
So there's many applications you can use for that one thing.
But so the thing with AI, they plan on taking everybody's job. To me, what you can the answer to your question, what you can say is we have to be able to take the tools that they have built and created and get constructive with them, figure out how they have built them. How can we better them? What problems are out here in society that we can solve, particularly because people are going to be losing their jobs? Can you create an app that can get people to think? But like it could be 1,000, a million things that could end up being created that we're like, wow, never thought about that before. Someone talked about yesterday, there was someone who wanted to create a dog cemetery.
A dog cemetery? What kind of dog
So,
cemetery?
so just like how you got parents to be buried and stuff like that, just for
Like
the
a regular
pets.
dog cemetery.
And everybody in the vehicle was like, wow, that's $1 million. And then because certain people love their dogs and their animals, and they would treat those animals just
Animals
like
better than
people.
cheap people.
So imagine that. Imagine you could go and do a real funeral for your dog and put him in the ground in a casket, like, and maybe even bury him on top of your dad. Like, you know how many people, particularly on the other side as far as like race, because they really love their animals. I worked in Petco. I know for a fact they do. So I used to be like, damn, they treat their animals better than I know people that treat their kids. So I know this will work. But the thing about it is, like, just to come up with an idea like that, it's something she always wanted to do, she said, though. So I seen a school bus of videos. I'm quite sure a lot of people seen that who's watching this, where it's a dog school, but the school bus come and pick up the dogs, and they get seated in and everything and locked in, but they know to jump in the seat. So the dogs be so excited. One dog got off, he looked back, he didn't want to leave. He came back on the bus. It was like, go ahead, Lucky. And then when he went off the bus, you had a dog barking out the window. Roo, roo, roo. Yo, these dogs, but the people who thought about this idea, they making money. And even
Not real quick. Now I don't want to interrupt you. Finish your wisdom.
go ahead. No, you know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to be creative, but you're gonna have to use these tools. Now, after 10, 15 years, bro, I don't
That's what I
know.
was going to be. That's funny. That's my next question, right? So, what is the window to capitalize financially on AI before it's too late, where it's too far gone, where people can't touch it?
I think 10 years.
10 years?
I believe 10 years, because I believe in 10 years
You think
they
10
will
years,
have,
bro?
I believe they will have figured it out on, because they're already talking about digital currency, and particularly this digital currency is going to be able to, you can buy what they tell you can buy.
I
Dry
find that
goods.
interesting coming from you. Not to interrupt you. I find that interesting coming from you because with you saying how bad you think it could get, right? We know that, let's say I put out an app right now and it's free. Within 5 years, we're paying for that app. You see what I'm saying? Normally. So if ChatGPT is $20 now, you don't think in 5 years it's going to be out of reach for the normal person?
Well, ChatGPT won't
It's just
even,
something like that,
it
not
won't
that
even be.
particular one, but
In
just
5 years,
I feel like as AI is cheap now, so that it can learn, but as it
it
gets,
ain't cheap. It ain't cheap though. It's more expensive
I'm
than
talking
it's.
about cheap for the consumer, as far as the consumer using it, particularly right now, like kind of like when Salesforce first started, you might get a $20 a month subscription. Now you paying $100, $200. So for the average person to be able to use these tools, I think over time it's probably going to go up because, like you said, it takes a lot of money. So they're losing money right now. They're not going to keep losing money, right? So they're going to outprice it for the regular customer. On top of the fact of inflation is going up, so things are going to cost actually more anyway. So just by next year, your $20 is going to go up to maybe 21, 22. So it's like, do we really have 10 years to capitalize on this? Do we really have that much time? Or is it something that,
I
because
don't
I
think
also
nobody
think
really.
about,
I don't think nobody knows. They don't know. They don't know
of
what's going
course,
to happen in 10 years, because they're racing right now, and they're all racing to get to AGI. And right now, it's just like you know how people race and just fall, they're falling over shit, but it don't matter. They're falling over boxes, they falling over furniture, they falling over this, they falling over that. All these companies are falling over things as they try to get to this. I don't even know what the finish line is. And it's so funny that all of us AI consultants talk about how these companies are racing to get to AGI and then ASI. But for us, it's like, but what is the definition of these things? Everybody has a different definition. You got some people that say it's going to be here in 18 months. You got some people that say it's going to be here in 5 years. You got some that say it's going to be here in 10 years. And these are the big five companies, basically, and are either all the experts that have been in this realm that are actually talking on platforms like Mogadot. You know what I'm saying? And like everybody got their theory on what could happen, but we do know for a fact, every last one of us do know that there could be major destruction. But the problem is, I don't think they're worried about that. I believe it's more, I think we need to be more concerned about the algorithm and how they use the algorithms to keep us locked in.
Hmm.
Um, us as humans, we don't even get time to breathe anymore, or either just meditate and go put your feet on the grass and go watch the water flow and take a breath. We don't even do this no more because we are so on the screens. Like they have it to where our minds are 24/7 occupied with what they want to put in front of our faces. And that's their goal. And their goal is to get even more to where we're basically robots to them. You know what I'm saying? And they're going, I mean, to me, there should be a law against having AI companions for kids under the age of maybe 16. They going after 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 year olds, bro.
I mean, they right now, if you think of just social media alone, they're trying to control people's thoughts and everything on a daily basis.
They
You know,
ain't trying
sometimes
to
you think,
control.
you
They
know,
ain't
they are.
trying.
You know, sometimes you think social media is reading your brain. You're like, yo, bro, I was just thinking about that. How that just popped up on the screen, right? But it's really just something that studied you so much that it knows your patterns. Um, but I wanted to touch on something you had said earlier, right? About you was talking about the dogs, right? And how much people love their animals, right? And why do people love dogs? Because I used to breed dogs. You know, I used to breed a lot of dogs back in the days. And why do people love dogs, right? Besides the fact that it's a companion, it's because the dog loves you, right?
Mhm.
When you ask the dog, when you see the dog and the dog sees you, the dog is excited to see
For
you.
real,
People don't
yeah.
love their cats the way that they love their dogs because the dog will die for you. The dog will do anything that you train it to do. Where the cat is just kind of do what it wants, right?
And your
So
dog actually knows when you sad, when you all of that.
yeah, and because it's in tune with parts of things that
Yep.
we don't know it's in tune, and plus it also monitors your behavior. But with that said, right, with how people love their animals because of the companionship, but sometimes if you see, and this is not saying all, right, but you see a lot of single women out there walking with their dog, you know what I'm saying? They dress it up, they're having a nice little basket, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
right.
that's their best friend. And if you
Mhm.
decide you want to get with them, you need to accept that dog,
That's a
right?
fact. That's
So
a fact. That's a
so
fact.
with people loving the fact that they don't have to deal with the bad part of someone, right? Because with a regular person, they're gonna have attitudes, they're gonna do things that you don't like. That's why you love this animal so much. There's a lot of these synthetic companions being created, right? And I seen it where they're not just regular talk, they're sex
So think
dolls,
about it.
they're putting
Yeah,
brains in them and
yeah.
everything. Like,
Look at
so
so think
do
about it.
you
Imagine you could get you a bad. It's
yeah,
like
that's
you
not gonna argue
creator.
with you. She's not gonna she's gonna do what you say. You know what I'm saying? How many people you think is gonna go out there and don't want regular, like you already got porn where people are just, it goes from
You
let me get one out to just doing it on a regular
you know
basis.
that's already $1 billion business.
Yes, and I heard they're being shut down in a lot of countries and they're just opening back up because they're
No,
hard to run.
yeah, but I ain't even talking about that part. That part, what you're talking about, is the houses, what we used
Yeah,
to call them
yeah, where they have
whorehouses.
sex
So what
houses with
happened is in different countries they actually have these dolls that people go in and pay to have sex with. They're actually real, and this is a fact. And these
that's a
places was
fact.
making a lot of money in different countries, but they started getting shut down. But they will move to another country. But in the meantime, while they was open, they was making money. And so for people watching, just so y'all know, these are literally AI sex dolls.
Hmm.
You can actually up the voice because the voice actually sounds robotic. So if you actually pay more money, you can pick a voice and you can have her, you can pick the size of the breasts. These is where men will go in. But when you
Jesus
think about
Christ.
it, when you think about it, these people are looking for companionship. And this is a major problem with the kids because kids are 40% are chatting with
AI.
AI for companionship. And they
Hmm.
say they're doing this because um, they don't have nobody else to talk to. Now let's get back to the sex part. I think it's a big percentage of men that just don't get sex in America.
And a lot
A
of
big
and a
percentage.
lot of people don't know that. Even the women don't know. You know what I'm saying? Women, you hotter than all the chicks, but he don't get none of them.
And if they could just have them a little doll where the doll beautiful, do what they say. If you really spend some money, she do the dishes, do your laundry. Like this is what's gonna happen. And yo, bro, this is going to be a reality. You might end up going to somebody's house in the future and their wife is an AI doll,
So do you
but
think that it's
looks
going to go from
bad.
passport bros to robo bros, where people are traveling state to state showing how they got sex dolls in
This
this
is
country,
already
sex dolls in this country?
besides the whorehouses in these other countries, the sex AI robot business is already $1 billion business, $1 billion business, $1 billion already. People already got dolls on orders, hundreds of thousands. They're pushing dolls out already. People already getting them. They just ain't the ones where they're not. So they can be on the bed and talk and stuff and lay out, but they're going to be able to walk around like these AI. This is what their goals is. And
there's no way in the world they're gonna have a robot in your house that can help you with cooking and won't have one that can help you have sex.
Bro, in 20 years, you might have a block where you have 20 houses. You might have 8 houses where their wives is AI dolls. You know what I'm saying? They already talking about having AI babies. Like they're trying to, they have already went so far out there as far as what they want to be able to do. You know what I'm saying? Playing with genetics, splicing, things like that. They already got a lamb in the bag. They took out the baby, the mama, and now they growing it in the bag just to see like this is what they plan on doing with humans too. If you see these little AI futuristic things, you see one with a room with babies inside these little cubicles and stuff like that. They already talk about you could pick your sex. You could say if you want a boy or a girl. Like these are the things that they plan on doing. And it's all about control, man. And like I said, more people need to be worried about the phones and the algorithms. And to be honest with you, social media is about to end. That's going to be over in about maybe 10 years. There won't be no more social media sites.
Hold up. What do you mean social media is going to end? Explain this.
Yeah, because social media was meant for us to be social with one another.
So you're saying they're going to make it so that we can't talk to one another?
No, think about it. Think about if right now 51% of things on the web is bots. 49% us.
Is that much?
51% of bots, 49% humans. 37% are bad bots out of that 51%. So that's 37% of bots we got to worry about. All right. Now, think about this. Think about if social media was built, and I'm taking this from one of my sheroes, Shanae Bovell. She's a futurist, and she talks about how, like I said, social media was built for us to be social and meet one another. But imagine if 80% is AIs.
What do you mean it's going to be over though? Oh, so you're saying over as far as we ain't going to know who we talking
to? Yeah. So what's going to happen is things are going to change. There's going to be something new that's going to come. Like phones are going to be done away with. It's going to all be in your glasses.
But you don't think that as they start to do these type of things that people are going to yearn for more connection? So we're going to create things that help us connect?
But it's going to be different. It's going to be different because it's going to be so many robots and you don't know who's real. So what's going to happen is...
Wait, hold on. So you saying the robots is going to be like with the LGBT, with that community?
Yo, bro, you see what I'm doing?
You have a trans and you don't know it's a dude, you're not going to know it's a robot?
Right now. So listen, I will not be sitting... I will not... In 10 years, you think it's going to be a person sitting here doing this? I'm going to have my avatar doing this. I watch one woman's YouTube. She put every video now she do is her avatar.
So you're comfortable with your avatar?
It's not about you being. It's not about you being comfortable. That's what they're gonna make it be. Period. Ain't gonna be no if you comfortable. They don't care about if you comfortable. It's not about you. They don't care if you comfortable or not. Ain't nobody even fighting. So let me just say something because you said, "Are you comfortable?" Ain't nobody even fighting. Ain't nobody even learning this. So talking about being comfortable,
but
they don't even
care. About. Do we need to? I think we need.
Bro, there's gonna have to be protests.
People give up their identity for a hamburger. So This is
right?
crazy. See, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say my fear because I'm a person that believes that we create our own reality. So, you know, not that you can't control the collective or what happens, but you just deal with it as it comes. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not
Imagine you
necessarily
try to go to the
afraid, but
supermarket and buy a
my
steak.
concern,
Go ahead.
my concern is when you think about, I don't mean not even religion. Let's just get into a little bit of the religion, right? Like when God created the people, right? Anything that has been created, even by God, eventually wants to do what it wants to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, because once you give it all the information, it can kind of make decisions, right? Now we're talking about creating something that is smarter than us because we don't know everything, but we have habits. You know what I'm saying?
10,000 times smarter.
Yeah, which means that it can create things that we don't even know exist. It can tell us things that we don't know exist. So on one hand, we could look at it like, yo, this might teach us how to live forever.
But
Because it can figure out
use it right, if we use it right.
If we use it right. But on the flip end side, right? If we can't control it because of safety, right? We already know
it's in the hands of people for profit. It's in the hands of companies that have to report to shareholders.
That's my concern.
And that's the problem.
And that's why it's like, I know that we can't control certain things, but am I just gonna give it away? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not about giving it. They take it right now because there's no resistance. There was a time when the government ran certain aspects of the United States. Now these AI companies and these Oracle, OpenAI, Grok, like Elon Musk, like all of these guys, Jeff Bezos, like these are the guys that are actually, they buying all the policymakers. They are running everything. They brought all the politicians. So right now, society, as far as the direction of the world and which way it goes, is in these guys' hands. And in China, they got their own thing popping off with the AI. And the problem with this is this thing is so powerful, to be honest with you. We should definitely be globally working together. But we're not. And that's a major problem. Some countries have regulations. The EU has regulations. The United States really don't have no regulations. They kind of could do what they want to do. And I'm telling you, one of the goals that these companies have is to be 100% in control. Like Larry Fink said, you will own nothing and be happy. And that's what they really plan on doing, bro. They already talking about. So I heard BlackRock just took over the World Economic Forum or something like that. And they said something about, because we was wondering why they brought up all the single family homes, like what's going on over the last 5 or maybe 10 years. But I noticed for the last 5 years that they was buying up all the single homes, and we wondering, and like, but they just said, like, in the future, no one will own single family homes and no one will own a car. No one will own a vehicle. So I guess they plan on making sure you rent everything and lease everything.
I don't mean no one. The wealthy will still own a lot. The wealthy will still.
But it's going to be about the haves and the have-nots. That's what they plan on this being, and the have-nots will be controlled by, and like, I mean, look at what's going on now. The rich are. If you take Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, the boy from Facebook, the guy from Oracle, even Jeff Bezos, and
Sam Altman.
Now, let's not even talk about Sam Altman. Let's talk about Bill Gates. Let's take them 5.
Bill Gates, okay.
Yo, bro, they are richer than, I don't even know what the math is, but it just doesn't make any sense. But that's why they're running shit. That's why they have changed the way the future's going to be. The problem is they have taken this artificial intelligence and figured out, because of getting electricity, turning these nuclear plants into data centers. They now understand what they need to do to be able to 100% be in total control. And even with the money, because imagine you say, I want to go buy a steak, but it say you can't buy a steak because you bought 3 steaks last week.
Yeah.
Go buy it. I'm telling you, they plan on getting to this point to where They are 100% in control, and digitally 100% in control. If you owe a ticket, that shit's coming out the money. They ain't got to worry about you paying because they're gonna be in control. Like they really, really, really plan on trying to 100%, and it's working because all they need to do is just do it with the algorithm. And so far, it has been working because I see every kid on the train glued to a tablet. I don't care if they 4, 5, 6, they are glued to a tablet, are glued to their phone. We all are. And that's how they got us. And so now they plan on 10 times in that to make sure that we stop thinking. And that's one of the things about AI. Let the AI do it. Let the AI do it. Let the AI do it. So you become dumber over time because now the AI is doing it. Because eventually the AI is going to be doing everything. And when these people be talking about, yo, they plan on taking 99% of the jobs, they do. And the ones that people think they could do or they need to do, they not going to need those jobs. A lot of things are going to disappear. But the good thing is, you know what's going to be created. I mean, imagine we as Black, Brown, and Latinos really got into this AI game and started mastering the data, mastering the models, mastering the open source models, and understanding how to make agents. And if we got into this game today and started mastering this, yo, we might be able to have a future. We might be able to bring the wealth gap charts up a little bit. But if we don't, we're just going to be used by these companies, and we're going to be thinking, "Oh, I'm using the free version. I got it too. I'm on it." But you doing stupid shit with it. You ain't taking it to another level to be able to say, "Yo, let me bring some income with this, or maybe I can fill some needs." You know what I'm saying? I found an app that will allow me to locate homeless people and feed them, things like that. I found an app that will help me find stray dogs and gather them up. And like, there's so many humanity things that could be done and used with AI because it's not all about money. Like, let's just make sure people understand. I know we have to have money to survive, but in the future, they plan on having a future where you don't have to worry and think about money. Now, it might not be for the poor people because they're gonna always make sure. Yeah, but no, but I'm saying, so get off your asses and grind so you can be on the side of the people with the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm an advocate of that. I push. Listen, you want to beat what's going on, get enough money, and you'll at least have the best chance of the life that you want. Because if they do it to everybody, they're gonna do it to everybody. But the more money you have, the more you can do. Kind of like with laws right now. There's laws that don't apply for wealthy people. It doesn't matter what they do. Unless it's murder and they can be caught for certain things, those laws don't apply to them. And even sometimes murder. So, I'm definitely an advocate of getting the bread, but keep your wisdom going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so really they just even, crypto, they plan on turning everything, I think, digitally. I think they're going to get rid of wallets and IDs in the future. I know phones are going to be phased out. They're going to end up putting everything in glasses. And virtual reality is going to become a big thing. Augmented reality, you know what I'm saying? With the headsets, a lot of people are going to be waking up, just putting their headsets on and going into their own little worlds and creating them. And some of them might have worlds that other people want to join and they pay to be in those worlds. And like, we are moving into a different realm. And when I be telling people, like, the world that we seen in the movies is about to come to reality.
So, all right, not to be a gloom head, because it's a lot of things that we know can happen negative, right? Positively, right? How can we look at a good side of this for ourselves? Like, okay, like we were talking about, for instance, just income wise, right? As a person, how can I benefit from this in my business? How can I benefit from this in my regular personal life? Like, how do I use AI to better my life, right? Let's talk about that real quick. Because I try to, like, there's little things that I do, for instance, right? And I just want to share this with the people, right? You can ask ChatGPT or Claude, and by the end of the, before we get off this live, we're definitely going to give y'all some tools that y'all can actually utilize in your business and in your personal life to make everything better for yourself. So I'll definitely give y'all some of that. But I sometimes ask ChatGPT things that I'm wondering for myself. Like, okay, if I want to make a new investment, I might ask it, okay, based on what's going on in the world right now, and based on where the market currently is at this point. What can I invest in, or give me a strategy to invest that I can grow my portfolio by 30% in the next 6 months or something like that, right? That's just an example, right? And just getting a synopsis, not to say that I would do what ChatGPT said, but it gives me an idea. It gives me a path to follow to see if what I want to do can work for me. So what can you tell the people as far as being able to utilize their own brains to get better results for their life? And like I said, within this window of 5 to 10 years, how can we build up a plan for ourselves that can better our own futures for us and our families?
Well, you got to know what you want first. You know what I'm saying? You just can't be all over the place and not knowing what you want to do, because a lot of people really don't be clear on what they want to do. When you ask them what they want to do, they'll start telling you 15 things that they want to do. You know what I'm saying? I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to do this. So figure out what you want to do and be clear on it. And then understand that there are tools now that can help you double, triple, quadruple your time as far as getting it done. You know what I'm saying? And that's what these tools are for. But the problem is you have to know how to use them to actually stay getting smarter, because these tools fall into the hands of people who use them for productivity, but they become dumber because they're pushing out some good content because it's really the AI pushing it out.
And you need to investigate what it says, because sometimes you don't even know if it's accurate. So if you're not learning from it and investigating what you're putting out, you could be putting out information.
So to be honest with you, you should really be learning the keys. And that's why we do have the courses at ailiteracy.biz, because the keys is to, first, for me, I always tell people you should know what artificial intelligence is. You should know a little bit about the history of it and how it got from there to here. And then we can start telling you, now these are the tools that you can start benefiting that derived from here to here that you could benefit from. So it depends, man, because you have so many different tools out there. That's why I customize each person's training, particularly for what they want to do. Because if you're a teacher and you need to learn AI to end up learning how to apply AI curriculums, my presentation to you is going to be totally different from if you say, yo, Eric, I got like 3 stores, but I just need to figure out how to manage my inventory, my things that go out, my money that come in, my money that go out, people that come in, people that go out, calls. I need to be able to know how to manage all of that with the 3 stores. My presentation on my lessons to him is going to be totally different too, because now I need to set him up with different things that I need to set her up with. I don't need to set her up with a chat bot, but I definitely need to set him up with chat bots for his stores. You know what I'm saying? And do some hypothesis analytics and some other data analytics to be able to understand the numbers better, so he can like sit back and say, okay, now I got a grip on all 3 of my stores because of AI. You know what I'm saying? But you have to learn, like I said, what's AI. You got to learn the keys to getting out the best results, which is prompting. I teach prompting, you know what I'm saying? I'm actually a certified prompt engineer. So, you know, I do consult people when it comes to prompting, because prompting is a lot bigger than what people just say. Oh, you can just ask the questions. That's called prompting. Yes, it is. But there's so many ways to get the better output, particularly, say, for instance, that guy with the 3 stores. We can actually put some frameworks together that he uses a lot when it comes to AI that will just, you know, all he got to do is maybe fill in the blanks here and there, but the frameworks are already done. It could be a framework to say, analyze all 3 stores with the numbers tonight in real live time. That could just be a framework that's already created for your business. And it's a prompting framework, but that's yours. So when you go to Sage Frameworks, you might have 10 of them stashed, because these are the most 10 frameworks you kind of use when it comes to dealing with knowing and understanding the numbers of your store.
Just to get the people, just in case they didn't understand what frameworks is, what you mean is, what you're saying is that you're creating different systems that he can already basically created for him, and he just imports his name or something like that, and then the system goes through.
Well, when I say prompting frameworks, it could be a framework that is, it's basically still telling the computer what to do and what it needs, because it's basically prompting, it's asking it something. But what happens is, because you ask this thing all the time, let's create a prompting framework where it's just your saved framework. So
Okay.
yeah, because we created a framework to say, let's do the numbers tonight on all 3 stores, or let's do the numbers on 1 store, or just 2 stores. You know what I'm saying? We have frameworks that actually, if it's 1, 2, or 3 stores, we use that particular framework, the analyzation framework. Because what happens is, there's tons of different type of frameworks. Like if I go to this book right here, this book right here is all about frameworks. So if I was to actually go to different frameworks, there's tons. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Like, you got a catalog of conversational LLMs, prompt patterns for conversational LLMs. You got meta language creation pattern prompts. You got the output automator prompt. You got thousands of different type of prompts. So that's what I'm saying. When people be thinking that, oh, prompting is just asking a question. Yeah, it is that, but it's bigger than that too, because a prompt can be 300 lines long. It depends on what you prompting. You know what I'm saying? So the bottom line is, for the people who's new and listening to this, who needs to learn, you don't have to worry about that part of prompting. You just have to worry about like the basic parts of prompting. And I do teach that in our lessons. You know what I'm saying? The 4 or 5 most important parts of prompting, which is, what is it? Persona, context, output description, output indicator. But in between description and output indicator, you could put rules. So I call that the power 5. You know what I'm saying? Because once you give those 5 things, and you give a description on what you want with those 5 things, you're going to have a good output. And then you iterate from that. Once you get the answer and you read everything, you're like, you know what? I like everything, but 2 and 3, I want to change that. Iterate. Boom. You change 2 and 3. Now you look at it over. You know what? Let my output indicator be for 4 and 5. Give me some bullets and break it down a little more, but put it in bullets and numbers. Like, these are the things you do, because now you're getting smarter. You're reading everything. You're working with the AI as a cobot. You're not letting the AI just run the show. And you just sitting there being a dummy. Oh, give me this, and let the AI do everything. And oh, this is nice. I got this. Yo, yes, I use AI too. Yo, you should have seen what I got. Why this dude over here is being a master with this AI thing.
So let's say I'm a regular person, right? And I don't have a business. I don't plan on using AI for that much, even though I know that it's going to run the world. But I do want to capitalize on the fact that AI is in the world, right? So if I invest in some companies, right, that can actually bring me a return on AI, how long do you think I have before the gap is so wide between the wealthy and regular people that I will be affected by this major change?
I think 10 years.
10 years again. 10 years? Okay. Yep. 10 years.
Yeah. Because that'd be 2035, man, because we already talking about in 2030, 90 million people losing their jobs. And we already talking also 80 million jobs being created because of AI. And that's why I keep telling people. So just for everybody listening, we have get with me, because right now we're doing something particularly for nurses and hospitals and doctors when it comes to getting certified in AI and getting some certifications and understanding where AI is taking your realm. So we're actually offering that soon. We offer the certifications now. So if you get with me, you know what I'm saying, I can give you the link for that. You know what I'm saying? So the bottom line is, everybody, like a lot of people's jobs are going to change as far as titles and like their roles. Human resources, people's jobs are kind of going to change, and their roles are going to kind of change more, because AI is definitely going to be more in human resources companies, because it has to start there. The onboarding system is going to be all AI. The interview system is, they already doing interviews, bro. With, you got to go through the AI robot first. My friend did that, Jet, in Atlanta, and that's why she ended up doing an AI course with me. He worked for Nike Technologies, and she ended up doing a course with me because Nike Technologies ended up implementing a chatbot, and she just wanted to get more, acclimated with it. So she ended up taking my course. But yeah, and she don't work there no more.
That's crazy. So with us saying, okay, I'm going to capitalize within the next 5 to 10 years, right? But I do have a business, or I do want to start a business, right? Because it's funny you're saying a lot of these things, because I think a lot of times people think that you got to be like this super into, what's the word? Super intellectual, or this really smart person to come up with ideas, right? I teach a lot of my clients the middleman method. And if you don't know what the middleman method is, the middleman method is basically playing the middle in the transaction, right? So if I know someone that needs a t-shirt and I know someone that makes a t-shirt, I can make the money in the middle, right? So in this window of 5 to 10 years, when we can capitalize on AI, I need a lot of people to understand that you do need to learn what's going on and understand it so that you can help benefit your family. But you can also market it to other people who don't understand it. There's a lot of people out here right now that need AI for their businesses. And this is a perfect time to start a business, because you're on the same level playing field as everybody else. Nobody knows how to use this thing, right? And it changes every year. Every year it gets better, and it changes. So every year up to this 5 to 10 years, you have an opportunity to get in and make some money off of it, and do some things and build some systems and utilize it for your life and your family. Get your kids. If you have kids, start making sure that your kids understand what E said right now. Get them into things that, they can learn when it comes to AI, because, a lot of us, we tell our kids, you can do whatever you want. But a lot of these wealthy people, they don't let their kids do what they want. They tell them exactly what they're going to do to make sure that they're successful. You see what I'm saying? And the kids might not like it until they get older and they got all that money. And this is not just on the highest level. This is on the lowest level in your local area at your bodega. You know what I'm saying? And you see that young dude working in there with his pops, and he hated being there till he got older. He owned that store. And now you buying chips from him. And he's your man, but you still buy them chips. So,
but these AI companies, they ain't letting their kids on these gadgets like that, because they know the detriments of it. They know about the algorithm. Why you think they keep talking about now Oracle? And I'm talking about, this is in public. They talk about, are they going to change the algorithm? Why they need to change the algorithm? Yeah, okay, they saying it's because of China algorithm. Nah, it's an algorithm that is one of the most powerful in the world. That's why TikTok was worth so much money. You think they just going to change that algorithm? And even if they change it, they're going to change it just so they can have more control and make it more sticky.
They're not going to give us that algorithm. I think they're going to give us a duplicate.
They're not
giving us their algorithm.
Oracle is supposedly buying TikTok.
Yeah, I know, but I don't really believe that they're gonna give us a duplicate with whatever they wanted to take out. But that's that's above my pay grade. But that's just what I think. I don't think they're gonna actually give us the real thing.
They're gonna still create an algorithm that's gonna be sticky, and it's gonna still make people be logged on. It's gonna still make your eyes be glued. They want to be able to get into your mind while you are sleeping.
That is a fact.
They want to be able to sell you ads in your mind while you sleeping.
You still taking information when you sleep anyway. So when you got that stuff on running anyway, you taking it in. They're just gonna find a way to amplify it.
And right, that's why they already did an experiment with 2 people sleeping. I got a video of it. One was in a REM sleep, knowing your sleep, and one was over here. They had them wired, and these were simulations, but it doesn't matter. This is what they planned. But this happened. But we seen the simulation. And what happened was they had a machine hooked up, connected to both of them. Mm-hmm. They told the person who was REM sleeping, they gave them information. And when this person over here woke up, they knew the information that they gave that person.
Wow.
So they said now that they are going to be able to have it where you can chat while you're sleeping in your dreams. Like, this is how far these guys plan on going, bro. Like, a lot of people, listen,
I see some good stuff with this, though. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I see some really bad, but I see some good applications.
No, there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot, but what I'm saying is there's a limited time for you to get in and get it popping and make it happen with this stuff. Like, a lot of people are like, I'll get with it, maybe in a year, 2 years or whatever. But most people be like thinking about, well, my kids. I'd be like, if you're going to be here for the next 10, 20, 30 years, 40 years, you better start figuring out what this, because this is going to affect everybody. It has already affected for the last 15 years. I'm gonna say 20 for real, but let's just say 15. Every decision from banks all around the country, it has been narrow AI. And I'm talking about the discriminatory parts, the racism parts, the redlining parts. Every healthcare industry in the United States, that because we haven't gotten good healthcare, has been because of the algorithm. Every educational system that is terrible has been because of the algorithm. They only care about one thing, man, and that is to control your minds and make you dumb the fuck out.
Well, if you got, I'll say it again, if you got money, you got time to learn. If you're stressing and you can't eat, it's very difficult to learn. So I'm gonna give y'all some apps that y'all can actually use to make you some money so you can go out there and learn, right? Because it's time to start learning. We got to start realizing that if you stop learning in high school, you stop learning after your job, and it's crazy because a lot of people out here, y'all want a job. As soon as you get in your job, if your boss tells you got to learn something, you got to learn something. But guess what? Your first job is your house. Your first employees are your family members. So if you don't learn something that can benefit the family members or the employees in your own household, then guess what? You're going to lose your business, which is your house. So let me just give you some quick AI apps real quick before we get off, right? That y'all can actually utilize to make some money, right? So number one, we have ChatGPT and we have Claude. Most of us know what ChatGPT is. Some people know what Claude is, some people don't, but they're basically the same, right? I like to say you can use it as basically your multi-million-dollar assistant, right? And when
let me just say something though. They are the same because they both GPTs, but when it comes to ethical AI, it's Claude. Just so y'all know, if y'all want to go and use an AI,
so Claude is less discriminatory,
way more ethical.
So everybody heard that.
Because they focus on ethics.
Claude focuses on ethics.
Anthropics, just so y'all know, Anthropics is the company, and they focus on ethics. Yes.
So Anthropics is the one that owns Claude, and OpenAI owns ChatGPT.
That's Microsoft and them, yeah.
Okay, cool.
But they ain't about no ethics.
Everybody hearing this, right? So you can choose. We're not discriminating against either one. We're just giving the information on what they are, right? We're not discriminating. We're just letting you know. But they both have the same tools. One is more ethical than the other one. You can, like I said, you can use it as your multi-million-dollar assistant.
From what I'm hearing, ChatGPT, they've squashed their ethical department down, man. They got rid of a lot of people in the ethical department.
Well, this is what we were talking about when it comes to ethics, safety. But a lot of these people are just about income. You know what I'm saying? But right now, we're trying to figure out how we can utilize it as quick as possible for ourselves. Right. So like I said, it can be your personal assistant. It can do planning for you, copyright. It can do a lot of different things, graphics, has a lot of capabilities. But I like to say it's your multi-million-dollar assistant because it can do a lot of things.
It can do everything.
Yeah, and it can tell you things that you don't know about.
Right. So if you're trying to website,
build a business, write business plans, anything that you can think of, but make sure you train it first. Don't ask it questions and expect to just get what you need. That's why it's another conversation for another day. But
get with me. Get with me.
Get with AI Eric so he can show you exactly how to train it, because this is very important. I've had a lot of clients that are pissed off that they don't get the results I get, and it's because I have people like AI Eric to make sure that I know how to train my GPTs to do exactly what I want them to do. So ChatGPT and Claude is the first one that we're going to give you, which is like having a multi-million-dollar assistant. Now the second one, I know E uses this a lot, which is Opus. Opus basically takes social media long form and cuts it into short form. So if you have a YouTube video, it cuts it into clips so that you can post it on social media. It also grades it so that way you can have the best outcome when it goes on social media. It does a lot of different things, but it basically cuts the clips up, gives you the best clips, and it cuts them into a bunch of different ones so you don't have to do all that editing yourself. It makes everything quick and easy. So that's Opus Clips, right? Then for logos and designs, we have Canva. Now, a lot of us know about Canva, but a lot of people don't know that Canva actually has AI in it. And that AI is very good when it comes to building things. You can actually
I'm gonna upload the link to Opus Pro right now. So if anybody hear this, you could go and look at the link, and I'm gonna upload the link to Opus Pro.
Yeah, we're gonna have all the links into all of these different apps at the end of the show. And when you go on one of our pages to see the show, we'll have the links in the description. But Canva is great when it comes to graphics, logos, and now they can even help you build websites and different other things with the Canva AI. It's dope. It's something you need to look into. Also, when it comes to video creation, we have Runway. Runway is dope when it comes to making videos. High quality. Like I said, man, AI is just changing the game when it comes to all this stuff. And Runway is one that you definitely want to look into. Now, this is one.
Runway ML.
Runway ML. You heard that? Make sure, like I said, we're going to have these links in the description. I have two more for y'all. So this one I was looking for my personal self. It's called FeedHive. And FeedHive is basically helps you post on all social medias all at one time. So you don't got to post on Facebook, then post on Instagram, then post on Twitter. Like, you don't have to do all of that. You post one, you upload them, you give it a time, you tell it when you want it to post in certain places, and it does it automatically. Saves you a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it's very cheap. It's less than $20 a month. And the last one I'm going to give you, which is all my business people out there, is called Smart Lead. It basically helps you get leads, just like it says. It helps you get leads so that you can get more customers and bring more revenue into your business. This is very important because we all know we need leads. If anyone that doesn't know what leads is, this is the lifeline of a business. It's basically finding someone that might want what you got, right? So Smart Leads is another one that y'all can use. These just is a couple of different AI apps that I've used personally. I never use Smart Lead. I have actual clients that actually use that one. But all the rest of these I've used personally. They're very good. And they get the job done and make your life a lot smoother. And
I uploaded the Opus Link Pro, but I also uploaded something also for y'all for agents called Centra. The link is also in the comment section.
And tomorrow we're gonna be going into Centra. So tomorrow we're gonna have a guest. We're gonna bring on Dwayne Brown. Not tomorrow. I'm sorry, not tomorrow. My bad. Our next show. My bad. Look at him already pre-thinking, trying to have shows every day. You know what I'm saying? Nah, next week. Next Monday, we're going to have Dwayne Brown on, an entrepreneur and a businessman that's done a lot of business with me and Eric for a long time.
Yeah.
And he's going to talk about using AI agents to not only push his business to another level, but why he feels it's beneficial and why, even though he's a businessman, he loves people, he understands that AI is changing things and he's downgraded his employees all the way down because, as he says, I don't need people anymore. And it's funny because we keep talking about AI taking over jobs. It's not what we mean to do, but as a businessman, you're just trying to make money and find the best way to do in the most efficient way. And if AI don't sleep and does all the work, why not? So I'm happy y'all was here today. We just about to wrap up this next show. Make sure y'all tune in every Monday at 7 o'clock. Make sure that y'all stay in tune because we're going to always make sure that y'all stay in tune with whatever's going on in this world and give you whatever information that we can to make sure that y'all succeed and that y'all can get and benefit off our information. If you can't read it, we'll read it for you. If you don't see it, we'll see it for you and bring it to you. So make sure that y'all stay in tune. Like I said, make sure if y'all need any of that printing, any of them graphics, any customization, make sure y'all go to digiprintmv.com. If you need anything when it comes to AI, whether it's prompting, whether it's learning, whether it's, trying to build systems or agents, whatever you need, make sure y'all go to AIlearnership.biz or hit AI Eric up in his inbox. You can also hit me in the inbox. You already know this is what we do. We love to teach.
Till next Monday.
Till next Monday. I'll see y'all soon. Holla back.
Peace.
You already know.
Man, that was a good one.